What's going on, y'all? The reviewer is here. I know it's been a while with me, man. I just been working. Now I'm kind of like chilling now because I bought a lot of albums and I bought a lot of movies, DVDs or Blu-ray. So be on the lookout for those reviews. I'm gonna start dropping them as much as I could. All right. So anyway, this is the album review of Joe Blakk called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And in case y'all don't know who Joe Blakk is a rapper from New Orleans, Louisiana. He was featured on Master P's Down South Hustlers compilation. This came out back in '95, so he been in the rap game since then. And this is his second album, and this is the real deal. Y'all know how I do. And one thing that I like about Joe Blakk is that he's a very great lyricist. He dropped some dope lyrics, man, with some nice beats and all that good stuff. This is my first that I ever heard this album, and I was highly impressed. So shout out to Charleston, South Carolina for hooking me up with this album. All right, so let's get on with the review of who made the beats. The producers of this album were Aubrey Francis and Paul Francis, Trey 8. If that's the rapper who I think it is, rest in peace. Joe Blakk himself, Don Juan, Roland and Goldfingers, Fire, and Ice Mike. Those were all the features. Those were all the producer for this album. And the features were, what's in the front? High Demand, Ed West, Divine, who's a female, Shadow Man, and Fire. All right, and also Geostorm, Big Dana, and The Quest. Those were all the features for this album. All right, I'm putting them a little closer so you can see it. The intro is pretty good. I like that intro. The next one is called That's What They Call Me. This is a really nice track for Joe Blakk. He come through with some dope lyrics with a laid back beat. And he's just saying that they call him Joe Blakk, that part. Overall, this is a nice track here. Boot Up or Shut Up. This is a really dope track right here from Joe Blakk. He comes through with some dope lyrics. That beat goes hard, man. He's coming through with some of the great lyrics that he usually brings out, you know what I mean? He does it really well in this track. The next one is called Life's a Bitch. And I really dig this song right here. This is probably one of my personal favorites. Blakk is just coming through with some great lyrics as usual. And he just keeping it real throughout this whole track, man. Like, I'm feeling this song, yo. I played this song probably like 3-4 times in a row. Like the vocals, who's singing the hook is on point. Real talk. 1-900 Jive Ass Ho. That's the name of the track. You can see it. And this song is really nice. Joe Blakk is basically talking about the fake dudes out there or fake people out there that act like they for their community, but they're really not. And the lyrics on there is on point as usual. Then I'm going to go to Talkin Mosh. This features Divine, who's a female rapper, and they're just talking about having sex and all that good stuff. And this song is really nice though. They come through with some dope lyrics, great punchlines on there on how they can, drown them, or how women talk trash. And it's really good. It's one of my favorite tracks off of the album as well. Then Everything's Fine. This is a really great track from Joe Blakk. He's come through with some dope lyrics. He's talking about people who's either in the pen or locked up. And he's just explaining to them that everything's fine besides all the BS that we put up through and all that good stuff. 2 a.m. This is a really nice track. I'm loving this song. Joe Blakk speaks some real stuff on this song. He said, if you see the 5-0, I'm gonna have to let him know because I ain't trying to get locked up for no BS or something like that. It's on some real stuff. A lot of rappers wasn't really rapping like this, you know what I mean? So the hook is really nice. It's kind of like a reggae type hook, you know what I mean? And one of my favorite tracks coming up is Tales from the Chris. I love this freaking track, man. Blakk coming through with some dope lyrics. If you pay attention to what he's doing, he's talking about titles of movies. So he's comparing them to titles of movies. He says something like Fatal Attraction, Losing Isaiah, Throw Mama from the Train. Like, that's what he's spitting on the song. And it's crazy because I didn't understand the concept of the song until I actually pay attention to the lyrics. This is another one of my personal favorites off of this album, and it's dark too to add. Will I be a dope fiend or a dope man? This is another really tight track from Joe Blakk. The title explains everything. He's talking about the trials and tribulations on here. He's saying, will I be the dope user or the dope abuser? You know what I mean? It's on some good, great content. What is we gonna do is another nice track from Joe Blakk, and he's basically sending a message to the community on how we are designed to fail. The first verse was what I was really feeling, man. Like, he's talking about a 14-year-old girl, and I'm not gonna get too deep into it. You have to listen to the track, but it's on some real stuff. And what's funny is this type of situation happens to this day. You know, Misconstrue is a really nice track from Joe Blakk. It's a nice beat with some dope lyrics, and he comes through as usual, man. I shouldn't have to explain it. Then that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do all the tracks, but this is all the song I'm gonna do for the album. Now, to rate this out of a 10, I will give this a 8.5, solid 8.5, maybe a 9. I'll probably boost it up to a 9. Joe Blakk comes through with some dope lyrics. Some of the beats on here is not really the best, but this is a prime example of an album that shows lyrics outshines the tracks. Just put it like that. And even though he has some great beats throughout the album, he still has the lyrics to pretty much clean up the mess. You know what I mean? And this is probably one of my personal favorite albums from Louisiana. And I really dig some of the tracks that I can play over and over, man. Just like Tales from the Chris was really one of my favorites. Life's a Bitch was another great one. And he don't really have any bad songs on here. I mean, at least none to the point when I say it's whack. You know, every song is worth playing if you understand the concept of the songs. All right, so I believe this was his last album. I don't think he put out anything else after this. And this came out in '98. So shout out to Joe Blakk for coming out with a dope album. And shout out to all the producers and all the features. Much love to the real folks. And I'll be on here back with another review. All right. Peace out, guys.